Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close for Friday, February 28th. So this is our last market close of the month. It is the gateway into March. And March, I'm going to give March a nickname already. We're calling it March Madness, and we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about Trump. We're talking about tariffs. We're talking about the market. We have that potential for a lot of volatility coming up in March for sure. Holy banana bread. That's all I can say right now is, oh boy, it's going to be an interesting month. No matter what. Now, today was a very fun day on the market. We had some stocks soaring. We had some stocks doing the opposite. The market was red, it was green, it was red, it was green. It was like an accordion. In fact, the initial thumbnail I put up for this stream was the green one, but I made the red one as well. And I was saying, okay, well, I'm not going to just keep changing it back and forth. I will see what the market looks like as we head into now. And I'm happy that I stuck with the green. We do have a green day at the end of it all. Let's just pull it on up. Here we are. We had this nice, it was like, look at this, guys. Down, up, down. Right here, here's kind of this whole down, up, down. It's what it is. But we had this nice little big big green candle pushed us up. We're above the blue line. So it looks like, and I don't know how, but it looks like overall for the month, we're going to have a green month on the TSX, unless between now and, between now and the bell, unless we get a giant red candle plunging us down. And honestly, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. But for now, we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this. The Nasdaq, the S&P 500. They are in the red. They are in the red. I guess I should probably just drag this over here. They're well below the blue line. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna get back above it. I don't think they are. So I think we have a red market for February on the U.S. side. Nasdaq, same idea, and I got to drag this across. They're also going to finish in the red. So we will have pretty much. What about the Dow Jones? I think they're well. Yeah, they're well. So the red market, February, red in the United States. We just eked into the green here on Canada, but not by much. Not by much. So what can I say? Commodities are down. Look at this. Gold down almost 1%, silver down 0.5 to 3%. WTI is at the line. They're at 0.00. So oil's flat. Bitcoin's down a full percent. Ethereum's down a whole 4%. Oh boy, it's a crazy day. And I'll tell you, I will show you guys something. We're going to watch a little something here in a bit. We're going to watch something. I don't think we've ever watched anything before on the channel, but we're going to watch something. I want to show you guys something. Well, if it works. But anyway, that'll be after the bell. Let's go into our heat maps. The Canadian heat map doesn't look that bad. I mean, we got a little bit of concentration of red down in here, like Celesticus here at 1.78% down. But look at this. Loblaw's having a good day, up 1.64. Enbridge up 2.16. Pembina Pipelines, look at them, up 7.05%. That's absolutely fantastic. Royal Bank's up. TD Bank is up. So we got a lot of good looking stuff. Look at this. CNR's up 1.3%. CP. Let's look at the US. Let's see if they can look as good as we can. And hello. Yeah. It's about the same. It's about the same. A lot of green. We got Nvidia up 2.30. Actually, it looks so much the same that when I clicked it at first, I didn't think I went over because pretty much the same motif. But yeah, Apple's up. Berkshire Hathaway, they're up. Tesla's up. Holy banana bread. Baba, if you like the Chinese stuff, not doing so well, down 3.53%. All right, heading into the world of Bitcoin and crypto. Well, not the same picture. We got ourselves a lot of red. There's red. Bitcoin, like Bitcoin's down a full percent. Ethereum's down 4%. XRP 2.78. Solana though, Solana's having a good day, up 5.58%. Now there's about 15,000 different crypto coins out there. Most of them I call crap coins. We're just going to pick some random one. It's a red day on the crypto market. We'll pick a greenie. This one here. Let's go in with this one. This is the NomoX. NomoX? What the heck? Who named this? A drunken monkey? NomoX. NomoX token. Okay. Whatever that is. I don't know what it is. I mean, well, look, it was up. It doesn't look, yeah, it was up at one point, but this isn't looking good. It looks like the prairies. So yeah, once again, guys, there's a lot of these crap coins out there. If you don't know what it is, probably shouldn't touch it. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it does. I'm not really inclined to go hunt down the white paper. I'm gonna have to guess it's probably a game related token, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. If you're going to do the crypto thing, stick to the big boys. Stick to your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, even your Dogecoin. You're in better shape that way. You're in better shape. Definitely. All right, we'll get back to the main show here. Ooh, bring up the TSX again. And let's hit the chat. All right. Jonathan, usually always first. Am I late for tariffs? No, tariffs are not going to spare anybody. You all get to experience them. As you guys know, March 4th, the tariffs begin. And Ian says, hello, everyone. EXE is on fire today. Again, let's take a look. EXE, where is my thing? Here it is. All right. Yeah, they were doing well the other day as well. Oh, look at this. Another 6.19% up. Holy banana bread. Yeah, look at this. I mean, before this was added, this here actually looked really impressive. We'll pull up their 1 year, but yeah, look at this. Yeah, EXE on fire. So those of you who are investing in EXE, congratulations. You're having another good day. That's for sure. Max says, good afternoon. Wow, today has been wild. Yeah, it's like the wild, wild west on the market. What can you say? Duenas is saying, great time for treasury bills. So HPYT. Well, 9, I don't know if 9 is here, but 9 has been investing a lot in treasury bills. And that might actually be paying off, depending on what this market does. And I'm not very optimistic. Like I said, March Madness is almost upon us. Stan is in the house with a happy Friday, y'all. We got the Jordanator in here with hello, Candace. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Hope you're doing well as well. I don't know if you are getting snow over where you are, but we get a little bit of 15 centimeters coming here tonight, and I think Montreal is going to get it just after us. So I don't know if it started at your side of Ontario. Speaking of Ontario, we had an election last night as well, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But spoiler alert, if you haven't been listening to the news, Doug Ford won his third majority. Larry says, you see the Trump Zelensky thing, so crazy how they won't admit they've run out of troops and have been kidnapping people for the past 2 years. I saw that. I saw that. That's actually what I'm going to try to show you guys. If you haven't seen it, we won't watch the whole thing, but just a little bit of it. I was just like, what the banana bread is going on? Rory says, afternoon, Candace. Did you check out the fight between Zelensky and Trump? Was a fiery one. Yes, it was. It was interesting. Ian says, Timber Creek currently has a dividend of 10%. Can you check the payout ratio for me? I used up my free Simply Wall Street for the month. All right. So Timber Creek. Yeah, I can do that for you. Let me pull this back up. All right, we're gonna head over here. Oh, I still have the weather up for Bogota, Colorado, Columbia, 17 degrees where Ian is right now, and sunny. There you go. Not too shabby. All right. All right, we're gonna head into Simply here. All right, TF. All right, I'm gonna have to type it all in. Timber, let's try Creek, not Creef. There we go. Timber Creek Financial. Let's head down here. All right. Now you will get, Ian, you will get your free ones again tomorrow. Let me see here. Where am I at? I'm at the dividend. All right. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, right now we're looking at about a 98% on earnings. Cash flow negative 83. I always ignore negatives. So you're looking at about a 98%, but that's typical for Timber Creek Financial. I mean, they do have a pretty high payout ratio because they're passing on most of it to you guys because they're not paying tax on it the same way a REIT wouldn't. All right. Larry says, I am biased towards Russia since I shorted wheat when it spiked and betted on the ruble, allowing me to retire. Oh, nice. Oh, Ian, just going back to you again. If you use a different browser with Simply Wall Street, and if you've got like a secondary email address, like your backup email address or something, you can get a whole bunch of free ones. You never really have to go to the paid version of that one because as long as you've got a few email addresses you can use, you're good. Jordan says, let's see. Is a trade deficit of only 63.3 billion? Are we really taking advantage of the U.S.? No, we're not. You have to realize a couple of things. So one, they're getting. If you look at the oil, because we don't really have the ability to process ourselves, we're selling it to them at a very good deal. So they. There is no deficit per se, mathematically, sure, there's a deficit there. The trade isn't equal, but that deficit is bigger with a whole bunch of other countries. And the reality is, right now, especially with the oil, they're getting that cheaper. So here's the thing: the U.S. They're getting their light crude because they're doing fracking. They're shooting water in between different layers of shale to get it out. They're selling that, a barrel of that they can sell, and I don't know the exact numbers, guys, but I do know they're selling a barrel of that more expensive. So they're making more off of one barrel than the barrel that they actually buy from us. So they are getting a fantastic deal on that. Trump has this thing where he decides he doesn't like reality, sort of substitutes his own version of it. And it's like, he makes up the data as long as it supports whatever he's thinking. That's kind of the way it goes. Ian says, let's see, I'm going to sit on my hands and try to build a cash position with my dividends, but it's hard to see cash in my investment accounts and not buy anything. Oh yeah, absolutely. And guys, just so you guys know, about 1 minute, 30 seconds, we got the bell. So if you are somebody who doesn't like this loud noises, like you got your earbuds in or something, I'm just giving you the warning. So you could always just pull it out, or you could just, turn it down a little bit so the bell doesn't hurt your poor ears. Because I don't want to hurt anybody. But I let people know ahead of time. All right, we got Mary in the house, and with a good afternoon. And guys, Mary is the custodian of the like button. That means if you haven't hit it yet, you might as well hit it now. We got a bell in 1 minute, and I'm going to have some coffee because I'm going to need that energy for bell ringing here in a moment. Oh, that's so good. We have Patricia in the house with a hi, everyone. Jordan saying hi to Patricia. Patricia saying hi to Jordan. All right, not again. Let's see. It snowed a bit last night. Oh, interesting. Kevin Kaz says, hey, gang, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. Patricia saying 15 centimeters. Yeah, 15 centimeters between overnight and into tomorrow. So Rory says 15 to 20 centimeters for Montreal area. I see. Yeah, I'll get snowbanks back. That's the way it's gonna look. I'm pulling it up, guys. We got 10 seconds. 10 seconds for the bell. So this bell is coming. It's coming. All right, here we go. 2 seconds. 2, 1. All right. Woo, there we go. It's the weekend. Welcome to the weekend. And trading wise, it's kind of March. The next time you can make a trade, well, unless you're looking at extended hours, is going to be March. So what can I say? All right. Jordan says, no snow here. We have partially sunny skies right now. And honestly, today was a red day for me. Got 2 tires reseated because of slow leaks as well as an oil change. Plus, it was dispensary day. $635. Wow. Yeah. I hate spending money like that for sure. Rory says Laurentians north of Montreal, I guess. And Ian says, I need to get some extra emails. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Isaac says, sold BHC yesterday. I'm waiting for Tuesday. All right, let's see. Kevin Cass says, flabbergasted at the White House's blatant shakedown of Ukraine and then watching that spectacle today. Heart is with Ukraine. Yeah, that was that thing. Let's try this. We'll see if it works. It's hard to say if this is going to work or not, but we're heading over to YouTube. All right. Let's see. There's somebody reacting to it, but I want, you know what? Let's go to, I think the Globe and Mail had just that part. Globe and Mail. All right. That's what I'm looking for. Here it is. All right. I think I have to take off my sound. Hold on. Let me, first of all, if I do not, I have one thing up so I can see what you guys are doing. Let me mute that because otherwise, all right, now I can turn the sound on and you guys are going to have to let me know if you can hear this, but we're going to try this. So guys, let me know if you can hear this.
Let's start from the beginning. Sure. First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless. You don't know that. God bless. God bless. You are not in the war. Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem.
Okay.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. I'm not telling you. Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what
you're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
All right.
We're going to
Let me.
feel very good.
I'm going to turn the mic towards.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
Okay, are you guys able to hear this now?
You don't have to.
Because I don't want to keep going if you guys can't hear.
Us, you don't have any cards.
Okay.
Right now, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
This entire meeting?
No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Oh boy.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of us.
Yeah, see, Trump is not even letting him really get a word in.
From the very beginning of the war, we've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you,
I
through this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your president.
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
met
for
our
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
us.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
Oh,
In
boy.
2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there,
thank you
except
to
that,
American people.
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going
I
on.
understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
I can tell you
You're
they
running
can-
low
I'll let you
on
hear the last
soldiers.
little bit.
Listen,
It's almost
you're
over.
running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting
Of
killed.
course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a
But I
ceasefire?
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
Doesn't
with
matter for
me.
you what.
That
what
wasn't
is-
with me.
It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that
is
was
Oh,
with
boy.
Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama who gave you sheets and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
Oh boy. Anyway, guys. Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. I'm just gonna give me a second here. I'm gonna turn that back off and okay. Whew. Anyway, yeah, that was definitely really, really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Not, not at that level. At that level, there needs to be a certain level of restraint. But that was more like a typical American family at Thanksgiving dinner argument style level. So yeah, that was not very professional for sure. And of course, I can't wait to see what you guys are thinking here. Let's get caught up really quickly. So Rory says, big fat check from Enbridge coming on Monday. Not too shabby. Berkshire held up my portfolio. Watching YouTube on YouTube. Mind blown. I know. All right. And here we go. We got that. We got that fixed. We got that fixed. There we go. I'm going to skip past everybody saying they can hear. Rory says, Putin must be like a kid in a candy store. Oh, I'm sure Putin loved this. I'm sure he was sitting back there with a big grin on his face. He's probably watched it and forwarded it on whatever social media they use over in Russia, probably X. I don't know. All right. And yeah, Michael is saying, wow, looks like a petulant child. I agree. And yeah, very painful to watch. But it was one of these things. I was just like, you know what? And here's the thing. I'm even taking that chance. Like if I get hit with a copyright on that, I'll just have to, on the replay, I'll probably have to cut out the little piece. So guys, if you're watching this on the replay and you don't see the YouTube part, then the Globe and Mail went and said, no, you can't show it. But honestly, I don't know if I can or not. So, but anyway, I did anyway. It's Friday. We're doing it. Let's see. JD Vance still irrelevant. Yeah, pretty much. This is beyond anything that I've ever seen in the Oval Office. Yeah, exactly. Rory says, I don't think Zelensky is going to allow USA to get their minerals now, are they? No, they had a joint press conference scheduled for later that day when they were going to sign the agreement. It abruptly, after this happened, it abruptly got canceled. So no, I don't think we're getting the peace treaty. I don't think we're getting the minerals. I think it's all off the table at the moment. So I think we're back to square one. The big question is, excuse me, what is Trump going to do now? He could even very well, because you know how Trump is. If you get on his bad side, he could probably go to Putin and say, look, do what you want. That's what could happen. That's what could come out of here. And I hope that's not the case. I hope I am absolutely wrong about that. I really, really hope I'm wrong. Ian says, getting many mixed messages from the White House. Every day it's something different. Yeah, it's like they have a wheel or something. They just spin the wheel. What's our stance today? Oh, bankrupt. Eek. Let's see. Jordan says, reminds me of a few people on YouTube, bullies that won't let others speak. Yeah, there are people like that. And this is the thing. I mean, when you have, if you bring guests on, you gotta give people a chance to speak. And there are people I've been on shows, other people's shows, with people who you gotta fight. You gotta fight to get your words in, because you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Painful to watch. Yeah, a little bit. I felt really bad for Zelensky. I mean, he comes all the way over to the United States. It looks like we got a deal going. We got a little bit of hope. And then to run into that, from my understanding, he's basically off. He's on his way back now. Oh my God, not good at all. Sue says, oh my God, terrible. I don't know what to say. Yeah, that was a thing. And that's the thing. It's like, I figured most of you had not seen that. That's why I was like, let's show it. Zelensky needs to know his role. He's a puppet from a country the U.S. overthrew so Saudi could buy up their land. They totally baited him. Yeah, well, and even then, I don't know if they baited him per se. I mean, they never really gave him a chance to say too much. I mean, between, him and Trump, they were pretty much talking over each other. So it's almost like they needed a moderator and a couple of mics and the ability to mute each other. Not them, but the moderator being able to mute them. That's what they voted for. AA says, well, I love transparency. And we got Mario in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. Ian says, if I knew how painful that was, I would have asked you to keep the volume low. I know. Guys, it's only 4 years. It's only 4 years. Jersky says, hello. It was a skimpy green day for me, only up 72 cents. Oh, that's not much, but at least you were up, right? Now, guys, with, of course, those tariffs coming on Tuesday, we're looking, I'm looking at that buy the dip opportunity Tuesday morning at market open. We'll have to see. I mean, that's what we got last time. Let's see if we can get a repeat of that. That would be really cool. John says, let's see, lack of trust when it comes to Trump and Putin. Yeah. What can we say? I mean, well, in all fairness, it's almost like that with a lot of politicians. But speaking of politicians, so we did have our big election yesterday here in Ontario, and no surprise, Doug Ford won it again. His goal was to get a bigger mandate so that he could use that in his quest to defend Ontario from the tariffs. He did get a bigger mandate, not by much. He ended up with 80 seats, which is pretty good. Probably one of the more interesting things is the Liberals came in third. They did have enough seats to keep official party status in Ontario, but their leader, Bonnie, she lost her seat. So what can we say? We've got Doug Ford for another 4 years, so he will be here. He will be here until after Trump is gone. So let's see how he handles it. Felix says the money we all gave them is worth more than their country. There's not much. Yeah, their country's taken quite a beating, that's for sure. Jordan says, what do you mean it's only 4 years? I know. That's me sort of looking for a silver lining, Jordan. I'm looking for a silver lining. and it's interesting. I'm thinking, I mean, one of the things that Trump said before the election is that he was going to start off his term shock and awe. So I'm hoping that is it. Well, but it won't be. I mean, every day I keep hearing stuff that I'm like, what? I think yesterday's big what moment for me was hearing that NOAA, they laid off 800 and they're looking at perhaps even another 200 today. I don't even want to say lay off. I'm going to say fired. So, of course, NOAA, those are the ones who, they give us the warnings about tornadoes, hurricanes, all of that fun stuff, all the weather stuff. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that could turn out to be a bad thing. Let's see. A says, by the way, Asian market was toasted today. Trump effect, I guess. Nice. Yeah. Just wait till this coming week. And we're going to have to see what happens. There's always that chance. There is always the chance that, we could get a stay of execution again and have everything come down in April, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, Trump has to have some advisors somewhere that are sort of saying these tariffs are not a good idea. But right now, I'm not hearing any semblance of caution. So as far as I'm concerned, right now, I think on Tuesday, I think those tariffs will come down. I don't think we'll get that stay of execution, but I also really, really hope I'm wrong. So I really, really hope I'm wrong. Rory says, will America be voting Democrat on mass after Trump's 4-year or less is done? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say how that's going to go. You would think that they might, that America would want to change. But keep in mind, you are going to be in a year where, okay, well, depending, for now, it's not going to be Trump back again, but he keeps floating that third term suggestion. Now, even though, it technically isn't allowed, but that's never stopped him before. So, you will have new blood in. So we'll have to sort of see. And we'll have to sort of see what the country looks like in 4 years and how that whole situation is going to be. I will say this, if they annex Canada and actually make us a state, it's probably going to be a blue state, more than likely. We have our red areas in the country for sure, but I think overall, it would probably end up being a blue state. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm very, very adamant on that. Yeah. I'm pretty adamant. So let's take that final look though at the market, guys. Let's see where things ended up. Oh, look at this. The TSX had another big rally right at the end. So that's fantastic. So it makes me want to jump to the heat map right away. We'll do that in a second. The S&P 5. Ooh, look at this. The S&P 500, they edged above my blue line. So that's interesting. Oh, I wonder if the NASDAQ pulled it off too. No, the NASDAQ did. NASDAQ finished in the red. And I'm pretty sure the Dow Jones, yeah. But still, very good end-of-month rally right across the board. So that's not too shabby. And oil actually managed to eke up a tiny bit to 0.1. So above. Not too shabby. Let's take a look in here. And yeah, a lot more green. And I'm going to get rid of let's actually take a look and see who the really, really big winners of the day are. Yeah, we have, of course, Pembina Pipelines. GFL, they did pretty good, 5.08. Enbridge, not too shabby there as well. Royal Bank also had a pretty good day. So the next video, guys, on Tuesday or Monday, if you're a channel member, that's going to be the bank review, because all of the banks had their earnings this week. So I will be pulling all of that data together. Actually, I'll be doing it tomorrow because I have to film it on Sunday. Yeah, so that'll be the next video. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also going to try to look ahead a little bit with the tariffs and what that's going to do to the big six. So it's going to be a banger. It'll be a banger of a video for sure. All right, and heading over to the US, once again, this is not a bad looking map. We got a lot of green, and let's get rid of the losers. Let's head up to the big winners in the United States. You got everybody from Costco up 2.63%, and Nvidia almost made it to 4%. Berkshire Hathaway, as I mentioned as well. Coinbase down here is up 3.48% today. So not too shabby, not too shabby. And crypto still in the red, but Bitcoin has a chance. And crypto is still moving because they move 24/7. So they might very well get back into the green. What can I say? We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. It could be good. It could be very, very good for sure. So yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby. Now, I saw with Enbridge being up, I kind of want to take a look at Enbridge here. Let's pull up Enbridge. So yeah, up 2.56. Oh, look at this. It's looking like they're having a pretty good week. So yeah, like since once again, it's a utility company. Utility companies absolutely love lower rates, and we are seeing that big time. And even after this little bit of a correction, we're seeing that movement starting to move back up again. And so that there is absolutely fantastic. And of course, as they keep going up, their yield is coming down a little bit. So their yield right now is down to 6.255%. So yeah, what can we say? What can we say? I think this is going to be one of those ones. Even with the tariffs, I think the utilities are going to be one of the safer sectors for sure. So, and we're going to talk a lot more about that as we move into Tariffville. Larry says, yes, South Korea is back to the same level as the overthrow attempt last year. Yes, interesting. Interesting. Ian says, Wealthsimple says it was a green month for me. Okay, well, there we go. That's not too shabby. I do have to actually update the Blossom. I got to update Blossom. Simple reason, it's the end of the month, and I am sending out tomorrow. This is the in-between month where I just send a thing out on the community tab just to give you an update on the 0 to 100K challenge. So this all has to get updated with any of the changes I've made this month. So not too shabby. I wonder if we can see it. Let's actually, can we see Canadian in a, yeah, here we go. We're looking at Canadian in a t-shirts portfolio. So this here is the beta version of their desktop app for Blossom. So with Blossom, it's pretty cool. So you'll see here, like when you're looking at somebody else's, and this is one of those things I wanted to show you guys. If you're not familiar with Blossom, all you get to see is those percentages. So it doesn't actually show you, how many Coca-Cola he has. So this is Canadian in a t-shirt. So we don't know how many Coca-Cola he has. We just know he has 5.9% in his portfolio. Here's Brandon Beavis here. Brandon Beavis. This is actually interesting. So he actually switched all over to ETFs. So Brandon Beavis invests in these four. So he's got VOO, ZEQT, which is a lot like XEQT. So love these. Then the MCHI. Now Brandon's always been a fan of China. I'm not as much of a China fan, but and then LMT. So Lockheed Martin. I guess in that case that one there is a stock, but yeah, anyway, that's one of the things that you can do. And as I said, you can see percentages. So you can look at you can see what all of the, at least any of the YouTubers who are on here, you can go and check out their portfolios, all of that fun stuff. I just have a few that are here. Anyway, you can do all of that. It's fun. In addition to that, just pull up here. These are all of the stuff that's been going on today. I don't know if any of you are in here. There's probably some of you because I do. Actually, here's funny. I want to show you something. I was looking through Blossom last night, and let's see, where is it? I think it's down here. Let me see here. No, actually, you know what? I'm just going to grab here because this will pull it up. I'm looking through and I see this yesterday. I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, do the three trucking companies. So TFI, Mullen Group, Titanium Transportation Group. So I'm like, okay. I'll definitely take a look at some of these, and maybe a trucking video is not a bad idea. So, you know, I did reply to Terry, and but yeah, I'm going through. So one of the things is, once you guys are over on Blossom, be sure to follow me. I'll follow you back, because I never really go through the main feed. I only go through my follower feed. And I scroll through it, and if I see something like this stood out, this stood out. I saw my name, and I'm like, oh, I got to read this one, and get in there and jump on it. So it is pretty darn good. So guys, if you are not yet on Blossom, there is a link down below. Be sure to sign up. Be sure when you get over there, be sure to follow me. Be sure to follow me, so I will follow you right back, because yeah, like I said, I want to see what you guys are posting, and I go through that feed looking at your posts, and you know, I every so often I throw my 2 cents in, because that's always a good thing. All right, David says, let's see, XDiv day today for a lot of funds. Yes, it is. And Larry says, as Charlie said, about those that don't just hold the Berkshire, you're gonna do worse. All right. Whoops. Muddy Waters says, hi all. Still down a bit on crypto, but crypto is only a small portion of the total portfolio. Dividend ETFs holding up well. Yeah, and that's what diversification is for, guys. So, you know, I know people who are like, oh, I'm just going to go all in on crypto because I can make a ton of money on crypto. Well, right now you're down. Well, you may not be. I mean, if you got in a long time ago, you're probably up. But for the most part, you're at least down at this moment, at least for this year right now. Well, I don't even know if I'd say yeah, I'm trying to think where they were. Yeah, I think you're down on the year. So I had to sort of think here for a second. But when you diversify, you know, and if crypto is just a part of your portfolio, and you got your stocks and you got your ETFs and you got your different sectors, then you're usually in at least a little bit of a better shape, because unless we get a situation where everything is down, and that does happen, and, you know, that will happen, of course, as we start moving towards bear market. And if we start looking at a recession now, our GDP did come out today. Actually, our Q4 GDP was actually pretty good. I think it was 2.6%. So yeah, we're not close to that recession yet, but these tariffs will definitely send us there. So we're probably looking at, I even have a feeling our Q1 might still be in the positive, but I imagine by the fall, there's a really good chance we could get pushed into a recession, depending on what happens with these tariffs, depending on how long-lived they are. Were the shorts covering at the close? Were the shorts covering at the close? I'm not sure what you're asking, David, but I did. Oh, guys, I'm going to do this with this one as well. So StreamYard, they have this new AI feature where it'll go through and look for shorts within each of these, you know, what each of these live streams. So I thought it would be fun is to see if I could just find a short that sort of is an amusing highlight of each show, and then we could then I'll just drop it as a short. And I did that with the last show. So, you know, that short, if you guys, any of you who saw the short, that was just a little clip about me and me complaining about Donald Trump, pumpkins, and tariffs. So you never know what tangent I'm going to go off on. That's for sure. So it's all now. There's almost a pressure on me that I got to remember to say something funny, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna just do what I do and see what comes up. See what comes up. Ian says, I got my SPYI dividends a few hours ago. Might buy some Hoya REIT in my RRSP next week if I can't sit on my hands. There you go. Sue says, I've recently started buying SPYI myself as well. Nice. Guys, let's go. We haven't looked at them in a while. SPYI, here we go. That's right. It doesn't show up here. I actually have to go to Yahoo for that one. Let's go to Yahoo. There we go. Yahoo Finance. There we go. SPYI. Here we go. There we go. So this is the NEOS S&P 500 high income. All right. That's their 1 day. Let's just go to their 1 year. And you can sort of see it's you are moving up a little bit as you're moving through, but this thing does have a pretty high yield. What is it? 11.93%. So not too shabby, not too shabby for income. Now this is a US, so keep that in mind as well. Muddy Waters is holding it. Oh, there we go. Never mind. When you were David, shorts buy to cover and drive the market higher, fear buying. Yes, you're talking about shorting. My mind was still on, because I was talking about YouTube shorts, so my mind was in a different short thing. Sometimes that happens. Do you guys want a funny little tangent? So back in high school, I was sitting in a chemistry class, but I was on the debate team. So I was sitting there in chemistry class with my lab partner, and I was reading I was actually reading the Canadian Criminal Code because I was, I think we had one of the debates we were going to do was something about judges versus juries. So I was actually just sitting there reading the Canadian Criminal Code, and my partner turned and asked me what assault was, and I put the Canadian Code down. I turned around and I just hit him in the arm. I said, "That's assault." I went back to the code. Now, the funny thing is he was actually asking me about assault, like NaCl, like table salt, that type. So, but I absolutely, because my mind was in the law, I was just like, that's where my mind went. And that's where my answer came from. And afterwards, I laughed my head off because I realized that, that I had read that so wrong. Anyway, funny. Ian says, SPYI is my largest holding. It's my only exposure to the American markets. Okay, absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, and I know with the whole Canada First thing, and even with that Canada video recently one, the one that had the bright red thumbnail, I was getting a lot of people saying, well, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to do all Canada. Canada's going to be in trouble, and Canada is going to be in trouble. Yeah, absolutely. The tariffs aren't going to be good. And I mean, as an investor, if you put all the emotions out of the equation, it does make sense to be investing in the U.S. market. You don't have to invest in, there's lots of great Canadian ETFs that will give you your U.S. exposure. So you don't have to, invest directly into the U.S. market. But I still say it was pretty good. I still say that, it's never really good to ignore the world's largest market. And even when it comes to, things like what's happening currently right now, I mean, Trump's in for 4 years. After 4 years, things will probably, the U.S. probably is no longer going to be trying to annex us. Well, at least I hope not. So these type of things will pass. But when you're investing, especially when you're long-term investing, it's not like you have to say, we're not friendly with the U.S. right now. I got to get rid of all my U.S. investments. That kind of goes against long-term investing. So, I think it's, personally, I'm not going to sort of get completely out of U.S. investing. I think the purpose of that video, though, was just to show that you could do it. It's a lot more difficult, but I think that was also kind of one of the underlying points of that video as well. All right. Ian says, 2 peanuts walk into a bar. One was assaulted. There we go. That's great. That's a good one. I do like the walk into a bar jokes. They're funny. Let's see. Ian says, I bought SPYI before the trade war threats. Yeah. And even like I'm saying it's still the biggest market. And you got to realize it's not, technically it's not the US that's trying to annex us. It's Trump. So you have to sort of look at it this way. I think there's even a lot of people on the right, sorry. I think there's a lot of people on the right that, if they weren't afraid of Trump, they probably would be like, come on, that's a stupid idea. Let's not do that. Let's leave Canada alone. I'm pretty sure there's a lot. I would say the majority of Americans, like if they actually were to hold a referendum in the United States, should we annex Canada? I think it would be, I think it would probably end up with 75 to 80% would probably say no. There's always going to be that other group that will say yes, of course. But I think we're fine. I think that we are absolutely fine. So I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that at all. All right, guys. Oh, I love this. Annex Alberta. Now, here's the funny thing. I was looking on the news, and apparently there have been some billboards popping up in Alberta that have been saying, "Hey, Danielle, why don't we become a state?" So yeah, apparently there's a movement in Alberta for that, but I still don't think I think even if you had a referendum in Alberta, I'm pretty sure um, most Albertans would still choose to stay in Canada. I'm pretty sure. It'd be interesting. I don't know if anybody's actually doing any of that polling. Somebody should do that polling. I'd love to actually see the data on that. But yeah, that would be interesting. Now, there used to be talk, and I've talked about this before, where Alberta, I think Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC, Montana, Idaho, maybe Oregon, where there was a talk of actually creating a sort of a breakaway country from those states and those provinces, and it would be kind of like a little bit of an oil-rich country. But that was years and years ago. I don't think there's been any serious talk about it. And I can't even remember I don't know if it was called Montauk or something strange like that. But it's been a long time since I've heard anything on that. So just something to keep in mind for sure. Larry says, you see Trump's tweet, he's basically saying, let the war continue. And when Zelensky wants peace, he can come back. He'll lose everything to the Dnipro River by then. Yeah, I'm not surprised that would be the attitude. And that was kind of what I was saying earlier after we watched that video. That's the type of attitude I was expecting, that Trump would basically be like, okay, my hands are, the U.S. is washed free from this right now. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I feel bad for the people of Ukraine as well. I mean, it's going to continue. It's going to continue. But, what can you do? It'll be interesting to see. We'll have to sort of let this go. I mean, maybe once heads have had a chance to cool down a little bit, maybe we can start to move a bit more towards peace. But right now, I wouldn't hold my breath. David says, I can't blame them, Alberta, if Liberals stay in power or NDP Canada. Well, I honestly don't think we'll ever get an NDP Canada. Probably the best chance we ever had was Jack Layton, just popularity wise. And even that wasn't even remotely close to being a real threat. Like a lot of that election, so that crazy election that we had when NDP became the opposition, a lot of the reason they got that is that there was like protest votes and they were winning seats that they shouldn't have been winning for that reason. Like there was an interesting thing. I can't remember what year that was either, but that election, they were short candidates, especially for a lot of their Quebec ridings, and they were like, we just need a name. We just need a name on the ballot. So they were finding people that would be, they could get the name on the ballot. And I know this one girl had her name on the ballot, and she was like, oh yeah, okay, fine. And then she was off. She left the country during the election. I think she was in Vegas or something, and then she won. And and there was a whole bunch of them because they were basically protests. A lot of them were protest votes. So yeah, it was interesting. But I think what's going to happen right now, when it comes to, like I said, I think Poilievre has this election, but, and I have to pull up some more polling data. Right now, some of the polls are looking kind of crazy with Carney. A lot of them are saying, okay, the Liberals are pulling back in. But I think part of that is that the Liberals have been focused on, of course, Trump. And actually, we don't need that right now. The Liberals have been focused on Trump, and that's what everybody is thinking about. Whereas Poilievre was slow to jump on the Trump bandwagon. He was still going on about carbon tax Carney, but he's changing his messaging now. And now that he's doing that, I think the polls will sort of resettle where they were. I still think he'll probably get I think he'll still probably get a majority. It may not be as big as, what the polls looked like when Trudeau was in, because people really hate Trudeau. Both sides. Whether you're right-leaning, left-leaning. Trudeau was at that point that, we are absolutely, he's absolutely done. So that's the thing. Here's a beautiful thing, guys. The 9th. So that's less than 2 weeks away, and no more Trudeau. No more Trudeau in less than 2 weeks. So that's pretty darn cool. Larry says that country is screwed. I definitely feel sorry for the regular people. Yeah, like none of them asked for a war. So, it's just like, let's find a solution. That's the way I think. I think let's just get a solution. Let's end this. Rory says there is ongoing investigations into the BC elections with EBY, some kind of tampering with votes. Interesting. Well, yeah, that'll be interesting. That election was pretty close too, if I remember correctly. So yikes. David says, why should the U.S. be involved in Ukraine? It was money laundering for the Democrats. Let's see. Muddy Waters says, how is everyone preparing their portfolios for a possible recession? Yeah, and that's one of those things. Like, and I'm going to have more defensive content because I think that's going to be one of the big things that's going to happen. So right now with me, I haven't really been selling stuff per se, but bigger portions of money going in is getting moved into cash opposed to straight into investments, because I'm building up. I want to build up the cash position so that way there in the recession, there's going to be some really good buying opportunities. And I want to have the cash there for when that happens. So that's something to sort of keep in mind. But, here's the thing. If you are currently in the green in a company that relies heavily on imports and exports, those might be companies that you might want to take some profits, and maybe sink that into cash. Just a thought. It's, you guys have to, you guys are, of course, the masters of your own boats. But, we will be looking at this. And even if we go, even worst case scenario, let's say we go full on into a recession and a flaming bear market, I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to keep coming with the content, and we're not stopping. So it's going to continue. Terrain says, I think with Carney, they will have a chance if he becomes Liberal leader. Yeah, all of the polling shows that he would give them the best outcome in an election. So, and I think, honestly, I think at this point, he is pretty much going to win. I cannot see a scenario where any of the other ones win. And especially Freeland. After the whole Liberal debate, and her continually going on about trying to ally with with countries that have nuclear weapons, I'm like, I don't know if I want her, if I want to even have somebody like that running the country. All right, Rory says, let's see, Mutt, I can't panic sell everything. It's a chance at doubling my share size during the downtrend. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not going to sell anything at a loss right now. I will look. Here's how I look at it. If I'm happy with the fundamentals and I think it's a company that will survive what's coming, there's no way. Even if they're in the red, they're staying in my portfolio. I will average down on them, but the ones I'm going to look at are the ones that are currently in the green. And if those are companies I think that are probably going to have some issues, then I might be looking at taking some profits off the table. I'm not going to sell. If I have a good fundamental company all in the green, I'm not going to go and sell the whole thing, but I might take a tiny bit of profits off just to start padding up my cash position a little bit better. Jordan says, I believe the correct term is fed up. There we go. You got to love that. Okay, guys, we're almost at the end. If you got your last minute questions, get them into the chat. I'm going to have some coffee. Also, if you have not hit that like button yet, hit the like button. So yeah, the swag meter. Oh, let me finish this first. Now the swag meter up there, 15 out of 25. So we didn't hit the 25 this month. That's fine. We're going to start it again in March. I'm looking at March tends to be a pretty strong month on the channel. So I'm looking forward to absolutely blowing things out of the water in March. So I think we'll have a good month. I think we're going to have a lot of great content, and I'm planning a whole bunch of stuff for you guys. So that will be kind of cool. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with where March is going. Have you heard of the Pi Network? Yes, I have heard of it. Now here's the thing though. I might be thinking of a completely different Pi than you. I'm actually thinking of crypto. I'm thinking of the crypto Pi. So I know there's a Pi coin. So I don't know if that's the same Pi network that you're thinking about, Terrain. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Whoops. Ian says, only real sketchy thing I own is ENCL. Going to ride it out, might average down. Don't like to jump in and out of things. Yeah, no, understandable. And yeah, it's one of those things. So ENCL, I don't think we're going to get a crash in the price of oil. Actually, here's the funny thing. If we had peace, I think we would have actually saw some drifting down. So the fact that there isn't peace right now, to me, that might actually be good for this price of oil, which would be good for ENCL. So it might have some life in it still. Roku says, Recession, I'm moving my money to the Bank of Sealy Posturepedic. There we go. Yeah, really, really interesting. And Tremaine says, yes, that's what I'm thinking about. Yes, so yeah, I'm familiar with the coin. Now, I haven't done a lot. I haven't really looked into it beyond. I know it's there. I know it also, well, let's take a gander here. Give me a second here. We'll pull up. Let's go to CoinGecko. Here we go. I know, I think it was last week it had this really good day. But let's see here. Pi, let's bring it up here. Where is it? There's Pi 2 coin. I thought there was just a PI in there. Okay. There we go. See, I don't even know it well enough to, to find it. That's hilarious. All right. I'll look more into Pi coin here. I'll look more into it just so that way there I have a better idea. Because right now, anything I say about Pi coin, I would pretty much have to, whoops. All right. I'm trying to copy your, there we go. I got it. I was trying to copy your statement because I take a screenshot when I have a question. That way there I can go back to it and it's like, okay, yeah, this is something I have to do. Jonathan says, when will the website version of Blossom be available to the public, and will it have portfolio tracking? My understanding, and this is what Max was saying, is that they want to have it fully functional by the end of March. So within a month. Right now, like I said, they just added the portfolio access to it. So it's getting a little bit better. One thing I will say, guys, if you want me to review your portfolio using that Blossom app, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Just what I'm going to say is private message me on Blossom. That's how we're going to do that. So that way there you have Blossom, right? And then I can actually look at it. If you don't have Blossom, I can't look at your portfolio. But if you want me to do it, and we're not talking privately, we're talking on the air. So it's only percentages. But if you want me to, we did look at Ian's, what was that? Maybe 3 weeks ago. So if you want me to, yeah, definitely message me on Blossom. I would be more than happy to do that. And we'll look at it either on a market close or probably on this week. I think this week is probably a better platform for that. Ian says, even if ENCL crashed, it would still be fine. It's only 4 or 5% of my portfolio. Yeah, exactly. That's diversification, right? Diversification. That's why I don't like to have too much of any one thing. We got Bleak in the house with a hi. Oh, hello, Bleak. How are you? Rory says, I tend to buy companies that people absolutely need, not what they want. Yeah. So those are what you call your recession-proof companies. So, if a company If a company is recession proof, it doesn't matter what happens. They're still going to. So for example, grocery stores. Grocery stores are still going to sell food. We go into a recession, people are not going to stop eating. Railroads, they're not going to stop transporting. They're a crucial part of the backbone. Companies, well, like even companies like EXE, we still got folks that need retirement homes. They're going to be fine. So yeah, that's not a bad way to go. That's kind of the key. When you look at the key to defensive investing, the key to defensive investing is finding those stocks that are going to do well no matter what the weather is at the moment, no matter what our ginger colored party pooper to the south is doing, is not going to slow them down. They're going to keep going. And that's fantastic. I think those are the stocks to have in your portfolio when the storm clouds are just everywhere. There, that was a bit. I wonder if the AI is going to pick that little tangent as the short. It could. We'll find out. And Terrain says it has a huge following. Yeah, the pie coin. Everybody wants a piece of pie. That's for sure. Ian says, one weird thing about Blossom, days or weeks, I don't buy any stocks. My annual dividend payout changes. Don't know why. Yeah, I mean, there's probably still some back-end work that needs to be done on Blossom. That's kind of that one thing. When you're new and you're kind of figuring out your API access to different things, I think it's going to, it takes time. It takes time, but I think it will be fine sooner than later, hopefully. Ian says, SPYI is 31% of my portfolio, but really, if you break it down by each company, I'm still very diversified. Yeah, and that's the thing. When you're looking at an ETF, you can go a little bit deeper because that ETF is going to be bringing you all of that instant diversification, and that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good for sure. All right, guys, this is going to be a fantastic weekend. Heading into March. My mom has that old saying, in like a lion, out like a lamb. Well, here in Ottawa, we're coming in like a mutated lion on steroids. Maybe it got hit with gamma radiations. You wouldn't want to see it when it roars in an angry fashion. 15 centimeters coming tonight. So hopefully, if her saying holds up true, that means by the end of the month, we're going to be looking at seeing some grass and maybe some buds on the trees. That would be really, really good as we head into the spring. But guys, until then, this has been once again another fantastic show. You guys rock. I always love doing these. I'm glad that you guys decided to add an extra one because this was a fun show for sure. We're going to be back here on Sunday. Sunday is going to be a banger. I will make sure it's a banger. The subscriber sponsored video spot will open again on Sunday. Nobody took it last month. Will someone take it this month? Who knows? I don't care. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Well, we're still going to have tons of fantastic content for you as we move through March Madness. And I was actually saying to Jill earlier, I was saying, now that I'm calling it March Madness publicly, you watch, they'll the tariffs will get knocked back another month, and we won't have March Madness per se. But right now, I still think they're going to happen. So March Madness will be back. We'll be your guide as we move through all of the chaos. So until next time, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy things as long as you're not in the places where the snow is. Hopefully you have a good one. If you're on the West Coast, maybe actually my cousin who lives on Vancouver Island, he got bit by a mosquito yesterday. So it can't be that bad on Vancouver Island and on the West Coast, but a little bit more cold here on the East Coast, and we'll soon be in spring. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming. I will see you guys Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.